There are many people out there watching this video who will hide under the facade of disliking or despising Lord Josh. They do this because deep down, they don't have the guts, the charisma, or the creativity to do what he does on a regular basis. They're stuck in crappy jobs, terrible lives, mundanity, conformity, conforming to the set narrative. Work, consume, conform, repeat, and die. They hate the fact that Lord Josh stands up for what he believes in, works tirelessly for his cause of lematology, whilst they slave for the cause of another. They slave away every single day in hopes that one day they might make it to be successful and wealthy, just like Lord Josh is. But they don't realize there's many different avenues to success, many different ways that you can collect money and amass it over time. You see, many people will work daily in their lives on the minimum wage to do what they can. Work to survive and survive to work for their keep, as the old saying goes. Never getting a second to think and ponder about life. Never getting 1 minute to sit back and say, what does it all mean? To get introspective and philosophical about your own existence. They don't care about that. There's always more jobs to be done and more pocket change to earn, which you all squander on pathetic, materialistic items because you have no money management skills. There's plenty of people out there who will drift on in their lives, plenty of them, destined to be forgotten long before their expiration date. Their names never to be uttered again by the living mortals. None of them have done anything meaningful, nothing to leave behind. No great work, just exist and die, to be forgotten in the blackness of the great void. Does that sound great to you? Does that sound inspiring? I'm never inspired when I get comments from people saying, Lord Josh, you should get a job. You should conform to the rhetoric of society. How successful are you? Where has it gotten you? Answer that question. You're a fool if you believe yourself to be free and you live this life. You have no unique identity. You stand next to peons, ants, a colony of morons. You never have the courage to stand up on your own and try something daring, to jump off of the cliff and figure things out on the way down. But let's be honest, most of you out there are not strategists. You have no planning skills either. Every single day, I can predict it from start to finish. You wake up, you don't want to go to work, but you know, well, you think deep down in your mind you have to. You think in your mind there's no other way. You don't know how to do anything else, so you work that terrible job just to keep going, just to get by. And you do this with utter contempt. But you say to yourself, no, I have a purpose in life. I have a responsibility. And my job gives me purpose. Well, does it? Really? The only time your job gives you purpose is when you're not expendable. And most of you out there, I hate to say it, I don't really, most of you out there are expendable. You can be replaced at the drop of a feathered fan. And you know it to be true. The only time where you can say you have a purpose is when you do something nobody else is capable of on that same level as you. When you possess some kind of unique set of skills, which, let's be honest once again, many of you do not. You do not pay attention to the inner voice and the inner child inside. You neglect creativity. You refuse to learn anything new. You have a predictable, mundane, comfortable life. And in that life, you realize that you stopped living a heck of a long time ago. You may as well cease to exist, because nobody knows who you are, and you've left no meaningful service to humanity. And this is the sad state of conformity. The whole world is full of conformists, and conformity is insanity. That's what it is. And I never will be a part of it, ever. And I guarantee you that, because my principles will not allow me to be. I will never conform to that rhetoric. And you people out there, many of you do. You love it. And you come to me and say, well, Lord Josh, I have this job and it makes me feel complete. You can be replaced. Don't you get it? You can always be replaced by somebody who has the same skill set as you. Could you replace me? Could someone else sit on this throne of lamatology and say what I'm saying with a feathered fan in hand and a silk hat on head? Could they do that? Of course they couldn't. It's about time many of you out there actually got off your ass and started to realize who you really were, what you are inside, apart from the programming and the polarization of what society has told you you should be, and the beating down when you had your upbringing, all the tough childhood experiences. Sweep that aside. Dust off your imagination. Get creative. Do something. I'm sick and tired of the talk online as well from people who refuse to see the action and the brilliance in getting something done, drawing your projects to conclusion. Of course, many people out there don't even have projects. They have someone else's project. Make someone else rich. Give someone else success. What about you? What about you? It's okay for just a couple minutes to think selfishly and say, what about me? Don't I deserve better than what I've been dealt? I think so. And I might not be the cold bastard you think if I think that. No, I'm firm but fair. Strict but honest and direct. And you need to hear it from somebody, because you will never hear this from anybody in your personal life. Never. Because they are content with you being like them. A lot of the time, the people you hang around with are anchors. They act as anchors. They keep you chained down. And they want you to be average and ordinary like them. Nothing extraordinary comes from the ordinary. Remember that. Nothing. Which is why I'll never be a part of that group. Why should you settle for what many millions have done before? Billions, in fact, really, when you think about it. It's preposterous. Maybe I'm ahead of my time. Maybe in 50, 60 years from now, people will understand. They'll get it, what I'm saying. They'll look back and say, at the time, we thought he was nuts. But no, he's got a point. He's really got a point. You live your life by your own terms, not by somebody else's, because that's wrong. It's not natural. Never has been, never will be, despite what you're told and you're taught. But don't believe it. Never subscribe to the belief that you simply exist to work. But many of you out there do right now, because you're stuck in the rat race, stuck in the rut. And there appears to be no way out. It's sad, I think. I think it's despicable that many of you out there just simply refuse to get up and change something about your existence. And there's many ways that you can. The first thing you can do to make a positive change is to not give a damn what people think about you. That's number one. As soon as you do that, you let yourself out of this prison that you've put yourself in. When you disregard the opinions of others. It's wonderful. It's liberating. It really is like a breath of fresh air to sit back and say, if I do this, I don't care. It doesn't matter the way I want to dress, how I think. It's all up to you to be the master of your own destiny. It's incredible, though. You'll never find anybody, really, who can live up to their true potential. I commend you for thinking that you are trying your best to get by. Many of you got families. You're stuck in that horrible situation. I would hate it personally, to have a family and have to feed them and just to do work that I hated, just to do that. I think it's appalling. But many of you believe in your own minds that it's an honorable act to do that. Fair enough. But I disagree. I really disagree with that because there are other ways of generating success. Many. I mean, let's look at some. Let's explore some avenues, shall we, of what it means to go off of the beaten path. How about escaping the rat race, but doing it through multiple streams of passive income? Where you have multiple jobs. They don't generate a ton of money. You're not getting rich, but you're having a comfortable middle-class life. But you're earning money, and your money is working for you, whether you work or not. That's the genius way to make money. So some examples would be a writer, a musician, a poet, things like that. You create a piece of art, some work. You release it into the world, and it always continues to work for you forever. It's immortal. You've immortalized yourself into some kind of art form. It's just one of the many ways to get successful. But it takes a certain kind of mindset to take risks, to be an entrepreneur, start up your own business. I'm not against people working. I'm against people working in unsatisfactory careers. You should be doing what you know in your heart works for you, not what works for somebody else. It's not healthy. So thanks for watching, everybody. I've got faith in you. Prove me wrong. Prove Lord Josh wrong. I want to see it. I'd love it. But prove me right. I'll say, well, I told you so. Take care, everybody.